Hello and welcome back to the channel. Jack and Safia there. They're watching me do this. Yeah, I got a puncture on my KTM Superduke and I thought I would give this product a go, which is a Dynaplug. So it's basically a device that allows you to insert a plug directly into the puncture. Now, the puncture is here, and because it's a very small puncture, I've actually just poked it with a thing to enlarge it a little bit further. And yeah, so I'm going to have a go and see whether this actually holds air. So what I'm going to do is essentially I'm going to basically poke this tool directly into here. Now I know where I got this puncture. I was on a ride to Matlock Bath from Stockport, and I ended up having to go into some cross hatching on the road, and there was some dirt there and stuff like that, and I am damn sure that is where I picked it up, because there's always nails and crap in that on UK roads. They never really go and clean anything up on the sides of the roads. So yeah, so essentially I am going to put that in. Now, yeah, it's completely flat, and I've actually poked a hole in there, so it's definitely not going to hold air. I have actually checked the rest of the tyre, and this tyre has only got 300 miles on it. So as I said, it really was like yeah, 300 miles of use. I've just used that much there. I haven't leaned over because I'm still learning about the bike, because the bike's brand new to me, and the tyre was brand new when I bought it. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is let me just show you the tool. Oh yeah, where is it? There we go. Yeah, so you've got these rubber bungs with these little tips, and you put them into the tool itself. I don't want to take that one out, but you slide it in there. And then you, apparently, from what you do, is you remove the punctured object from tyre, which it did come out, so it came out before I got home. Align tool with the angle of puncture, well, I can only guess at that. Push tool all the way through the puncture as illustrated. Pull tool from puncture hole, plug will remain there, tyre, clip end of plug flush with tyre. Some people have said that sometimes you need 2 plugs if it's a bigger puncture, but yeah, this was £38 or something like that, and again you can put that underneath your seat on your bike, and again that top comes off and allows you to store these plugs in there, so it's a useful little tool. I've just never used one of these ones. I have used the sticky strings, that type of thing, but that was a while ago, quite a long time ago. So okay, let's have a go and see what happens. The tyre is deflated. What I might have to do is just for I don't want to screw this up, so I might have to just cut to me doing this. So I'm going to cut to me after I've pushed it in, and again all you do is you just push it into where the hole comes in. So literally you just push it in, and then yeah, that's really it. No glue needed. Right, let's have a go. So I remembered I've got my stand over there, so I've put you over there. It might be a bit wonky, but you'll get the idea. So I'm just going to put this in. So here we go, and you just basically push it all the way through. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's... Don't go any further. Wow. Maybe I've got to drill it out a little bit. Let's pull it out. Put it back in. I think I've got to drill it out. Let's go and get my drill.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
Right, let's see whether I can... Right, I think I've got it. felt that go through. Right, let's try again. Oh, Jesus Christ. How do you do this? It's only a tiny... Got it. All the way through. Yeah, finally. Right, here we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, right. So there we go. Yeah, let's see whether that holds air. I'm not going to cut that off just yet. I want to see whether it will start to hold air and check for that before I do anything else. Right, so it's at 36 psi. There's no bubbles. I don't think there is anyway. No, we might have solved it. Just the bubbles from that, but there's none actually going. It might be a very slow leak, but much slower than it was because it was going down within like an hour. I'm going to pump it up a little bit more. I think it's 36 in the front, 42 in the back, something like that. Okay, so that's at 42 now, and I'm going to put you on this on it and do a hyperlapse on that to see whether it goes down. Right, let's leave you there and see whether it goes down or not. It might lose a tiny bit, but because of the seal on the tyre, but let's see what happens. Okay, so accounting for losses at the pipe there, because this is an old pump, it seems to be stable at around about just over 40 psi. It might have lost 1 psi. There's the actual repair there. Let me just get the spray and let's spray it. Here we go. Right, the bubbles are growing. That's holding air, I think. If I just wipe that down. Yeah, that's not leaking. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bike back into the garage, and I'm going to leave it overnight, and then I'm going to see whether it drops below 40 psi. If it does, it's still leaking. If not, then yeah, I think that might be a fix. Now, for those out there saying I shouldn't repair these, yes, I fully understand the Z-rated tyres and all sorts of stuff. This is a Metzler tyre. It's got 300 miles on the clock on it. It was put on the bike when I bought the bike. Barely been used. I'd rather try this for a short time. I don't go silly on this bike. I sort of do, sometimes occasionally do, but I'm never going to get to its maximum rating, even remotely in the UK. As somebody said, the best you can do is about a 125, maximum of a 125cc. So yeah, if it was to catastrophically fail, that's my decision. Yeah, I've been riding for 30 years, and I've had punctures, and I've done, well, look, this bike here, the Z1000, that has got 2 plugs in it on the back tyre, and it's fine, and it's Z-rated, so it's my choice. I take that chance. I've had lots of feedback on one of the groups, and I fully understand why people say you should replace the back tyre. I fully get it. Some people are more risk averse than me. I'm reasonably risk averse, but in the case of this tyre, I'm going to see how it runs.
8:01 p.m.
I've left the bike for about 3 or 4 hours, and yeah, I think it's okay. If you take into account the little bit of loss of air from putting that on, I think we are good. Okay, so it's the next morning and I've had a delivery and I bought one of these things. No, ow, that's my head. So it's the next morning and I've had a delivery from Amazon, and it's one of these things, and it's designed for a car, and it's a TPMS monitor for a car with 4 sensors. And so I've put the front and rear left on this bike, and then I've put the front and rear right on that bike. And as you can see, it's actually, oh come on, there we are, there it's actually showing 38 and 43. So 38 on the front, 43. I just pumped that one up as well. That one was down to 22 psi, so it might have a puncher as well. Yeah, and so the Z1000 is at 3741, so that's not far off the 3642. And what I can do is actually put this in my house, and so I can actually see the tyre pressures on the motorbikes while they're in the garage. And it also has got an alarm, so if it drops below a certain threshold, it will start beeping. It was £20, and it's also solar powered as well, so it can sit in my kitchen window on top of the kitchen radio. So this is where the monitor can live, and I can see it whenever I come into the kitchen. Yeah, so I don't even actually have to go into the garage. I think that's let's just see what happens. Now, I am a little worried because these sensors are relatively big. They're powered by a CR2032 battery, so they have to be replaced every so often. But they come with a little locking nut behind it, and they're a pain in the backside to put on. And I'm not sure, it's supposed to be like a security locking nut or something like that. But yeah, I think I'm just going to leave them there. Oh, hello. Hello. What are you two doing? Yeah? Right. So, yeah, so I'm going to sort of monitor this. And again, it was at 45 on this thing down here. And this thing's highly inaccurate. It's like, and it also leaks. I've put it on a tyre before and left it for a few hours, and it does leak a little bit. So I've got one on the front, one sensor on the front there, one on the rear, and the same for the Z1000, wherever it is. Yeah, so the Z1000 has got them on. So yeah, now I could just put it on there, but actually it does work as far as the kitchen. So, right, well, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. I hope this has been useful, and I think I'm going to try this out and let you know. Yeah, I know, yeah, you're getting all excited, aren't you, Jack? Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.